Peterson, who is also our neighbor. Do you remember her? She had some weird behaviors which made me think she was selling drugs to our classmates as well as other people. So I decided to unmask the truth. Well, let me tell you what happened after I arrived at Ms. Peterson's door. After school, I went home and watched from my window, biding my time until I would pick up my little package. I watched as Byron came and left with a box that could have fit a basketball in it. He seemed to almost struggle carrying it to his car. What had I gotten myself into? A box that big of drugs could land me in jail if anybody found out. But I had to know what was going on. I couldn't back out now. 5 o'clock hit and I was out the door. Walking just next door seemed to take an hour, dying from nervousness. I knocked on the door. "Just a minute," Ms. Peterson hollered from inside. The door swung open. "I'm so sorry, Angie. I didn't know you needed this stuff, or I would have offered you without you having to come ask." Terrible thing that happened to Byron's mom, huh? I smiled awkwardly as she handed me a large, heavy box. "Oh yeah, just a moment," she said, running up her stairs and disappearing. When she reappeared, she held a small white box, a little bigger than a softball, and put it on top of the large box I was currently carrying. "How much do I owe you?" I asked, not sure if I wanted to know. "Don't be obtuse," she chuckled. "This is a gift." Before I could say another word, she closed the door. I took the box back to my house and put it on my desk in my room. It was heavy, but not taped shut. She had simply folded the box tops on each other to keep it closed. Hesitantly, I opened the small white box first. I pulled out a package of tissue paper and unwrapped it. Chocolate chip cookies. I tossed them aside, wondering what they could be laced with, and turned my attention to the large box. I hooked my finger under a flap and pulled. Inside the box was various bags, cans, and boxes of food. Canned beans and vegetables, bags of rice and pasta, boxes of quick meals. All along, Ms. Peterson had been giving Byron food. I felt like an idiot. Byron's mom had died recently, and he was the oldest child of 5. His dad worked all the time so he could keep a roof over their heads, but Byron was raising his younger siblings in his parents' absence. Clearly, they were in need of food, and Ms. Peterson had been helping them. I didn't know the stories of the other kids that went to her house, but I imagined they were in similar situations too. I could never see Ms. Peterson as some terrible drug dealer again. Her heart was clearly bigger than I ever imagined. Her need to help students was the most selfless act I had ever witnessed, and it would live with me forever. Not everything is what we see at face value. There is often more to the story than we can see by simply viewing it from the outside. People value discretion when they are going through a hard time. If you think Ms. Peterson has a big heart, like this story. If you ever had somebody go out of